How many terms in the GP 1, 1.1, 1.21, 1.331 and so on will be needed so that the sum of the first n terms is greater than 20? So we first of all need to identify the first term, which is a, and our first term is 1. The second thing we need to identify is the common ratio, because we're dealing with a GP, and the common ratio can be obtained by taking maybe 1.21 over 1.1, and we get that to be 1.1. So what we need to find is the smallest value of n, such that the sum of the first n terms is greater than 20. So we obtain the sum of the first n terms with the formula a into 1 minus r power n over 1 minus r, where a is the first term, r is the common ratio, and n is the number of terms. So in our case, we have a as 1, so we have 1 into 1 minus r. Our r is 1.1 power n, because we do not know the n, over 1 minus 1.1, and this should be greater than 20. So we can simplify so that we have 1 minus 1.1 power n over negative 0.1, and that should be greater than 20. So we can simplify this. We can rearrange this as 1 minus 1.1 power n over negative 1 times 0.1, and that should be greater than 20. So if we multiply through by negative 1, we are going to have 1.1 power n minus 1 over 0.1 greater than 20. So we can cross multiply so that we have 1.1 power n minus 1 is greater than 0.1 times 20, that is 2. And if you take this 1 to the right hand side, you're going to be left with 1.1 power n greater than 3. So now we can introduce the logs so that we have log of 1.1 power n is greater than log of 3. So we introduce the third law of logarithm so that we have n log 1.1 is greater than log 3. So it means n is greater than the log of 3 over the log of 1.1. So n is greater than, if you use your calculators, you're going to get this to be n is greater than 11.5267. So it means that the smallest value number of terms, or the smallest value of n, which is a whole number, is going to be 12. So n is 12 because our n is actually greater than 11.52. So the number of terms in this GP that will be needed so that the sum of the first n terms is greater than 20 is 12.